Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Have you ever felt her shiver when your eyes lock across the room, or that subtle sigh when your hand brushes hers, and wondered what's truly going on inside her mind? Most men spend their lives guessing, missing the hidden currents of her sensations, believing that attraction is just skin deep. But what if I told you that every tiny reaction she has, every subtle pull or recoil, is a coded message, one that reveals exactly what she's feeling, even when she pretends otherwise? You've been taught to focus on what she says, but words are often shields, carefully constructed walls hiding the raw truth. It's her sensations, the involuntary, instinctual responses, that speak the loudest. When you're inside her world, not just physically, but emotionally, she experiences a storm of sensations that can be electrifying, confusing, and sometimes overwhelming. The first secret to understanding her is recognizing that her body reacts before her mind does. That fleeting arch of her back when your hands move along her waist, the tightening of her thighs when you whisper something bold, the way her breathing catches when your lips graze her skin. These are not random. They are signals, primal responses rooted in deep biology, signaling desire, curiosity, and connection. Many men ignore these cues, thinking attraction is a puzzle solved with words and gestures alone. But if you learn to read her body, you begin to see the map of her desire, the geography of her hidden pleasures. Yet sensations are more than physical. Every touch, every movement, every small closeness sends her mind spinning. Her emotions intertwine with her body's reactions, creating layers of complexity that few men ever decipher. You might notice her gaze lingering, a tiny bite of her lip, or a subtle tilt of her head, moments that betray her true engagement. These signs are her mind opening doors she rarely unlocks, offering you glimpses into what excites, frightens, and thrills her. And here's the paradox. While she might act guarded, her body doesn't lie. Sensations are her truth, often speaking louder than her carefully curated words. Now, imagine being able to anticipate those reactions before they even happen, to sense the way her breath will catch, the shiver that will run down her spine, the pulse of anticipation rising like a hidden tide. Men who understand female sensations don't just stumble through intimacy blindly. They navigate it with awareness, a kind of intuition that feels almost supernatural. This is the secret most men never access. The ability to attune themselves to her instinctual responses and align their actions accordingly. When you learn this, you step out of the realm of guessing and enter a space where you are deeply in sync with her, where connection becomes electric, almost undeniable. And there's one more truth, buried beneath all of this. Her sensations are a mirror. They reflect not only her desire, but also your confidence, your presence, and the energy you bring into the moment. A man who cannot hold his own energy, who fumbles and doubts himself, disrupts that delicate balance. But a man who understands the hidden language of her body, who perceives her reactions as signals rather than obstacles, becomes someone she not only notices, but craves. He becomes someone who can touch the unspoken depths of her experience, awakening feelings she may not even have realized she was capable of. By now, you may be feeling a mix of curiosity and unease because this knowledge exposes a realm of intimacy few men are allowed to see. But that's exactly why you're here. You are about to learn secrets hidden beneath words and gestures, secrets embedded in the very sensations she cannot control. And once you grasp them, you will see her, understand her, and connect with her in ways most men can only dream of. The second secret of her sensations is that she doesn't experience pleasure in isolation. Every touch, every motion, every whisper is filtered through her emotions first. Her body doesn't just respond to physical stimuli. It reacts to the energy you carry, the confidence you radiate, the emotional rhythm you set. Men often think that intimacy is a formula. Do this, touch there, say that, and she'll respond. But real connection, the kind that ignites her deepest sensations, is about attunement. It's about sensing the invisible currents beneath her skin, reading the micro-expressions that betray her excitement, and moving in harmony with them. When you do this, her sensations amplify, becoming more intense, more consuming, more addictive. Notice how her breathing changes in subtle ways. A pause, a quick inhale, a gentle exhale. It's her body communicating, revealing which touches awaken her curiosity and which spark desire. Men who ignore this are blind to the map of her pleasure, stumbling through intimacy without understanding the paths she's silently drawing for them. The moment you begin to notice, to feel alongside her, you step into a role far more powerful than mere physical connection. You become a navigator of her sensations, guiding her without forcing, leading her without asking, creating a dance where every motion, every sigh, every heartbeat becomes synchronized. And there's another layer. Her mind actively interprets your presence. Even when she seems calm, when her words are measured and her posture guarded, her body may betray a storm of sensations, tingles of anticipation, pulses of longing, an electric charge in her nerve endings. These responses are highly sensitive to your attention, your awareness, your ability to be fully present. Women can sense a man's hesitation as acutely as his confidence. She feels it in her skin, in the tension that builds when your touch lingers, in the warmth that radiates when you meet her gaze with certainty. Her sensations are mirrors of your inner state. When you are calm, confident, and in command of your energy, her body instinctively leans toward you, craving the experience you uniquely offer. Here's the truth that most men never realize. Her sensations are not linear. They fluctuate, ebbing and surging depending on the emotional landscape you create together. A single word, a casual gesture, even a subtle shift in your tone can intensify her pleasure or dampen it entirely. That's why the men who succeed in understanding her are not those who rely on tricks or scripted moves, but those who attune themselves to her signals in real time. They read her body like a symphony, sensing when to build tension, when to soften, when to pull closer, when to pause. And when done correctly, this attunement creates a resonance that she can feel in her core, a sensation so profound it lingers long after you leave the room. Finally, understand this. Her sensations are not purely for her. They exist as a dialogue between you and her, a secret language that tells you how she perceives you, how she feels in your presence, and whether she trusts you enough to surrender to the experience. Every micro-reaction, every shiver, every subtle moan is an answer to a question you may not even be asking. She is constantly revealing herself, but only to the man who is willing to see beyond words, to feel beneath the surface, and to act in harmony with the rhythm of her sensations. This is the level of connection most men never reach, the difference between intimacy that is fleeting and intimacy that leaves a permanent imprint on both your lives. Her body speaks before she does. Her mind amplifies it. And if you listen, if you truly listen, you can understand more about her desire, her psychology, and her hidden truths than she even consciously knows herself. The first of the 5 secrets is this: her sensations are never just physical. They are emotional barometers. Every subtle twitch, every shiver, every gasp is her body communicating how safe, excited, and engaged she feels with you. Most men mistake these signs for simple attraction, missing the deeper story beneath the surface. When you start noticing the micro-signals, the slight arch of her back, the way her hands lightly brush against yours, the tiny tremor in her voice, you begin to understand her on a level most men will never reach. These signals tell you how she perceives you emotionally and whether you are creating a space where she can fully surrender. Here's what separates a man who understands female sensations from one who doesn't: awareness. A man who pays attention notices the patterns of her responses, recognizing the difference between curiosity, comfort, excitement, and longing. She might smile softly, but her body tells a different story, a pulse of anticipation racing through her veins. She may appear guarded, yet a subtle lean toward you, A tilt of her head or a shiver under your touch reveals desire beneath her words. Ignoring these signals is like turning your back on a treasure map. Understanding them is like holding the key to a world she rarely shares. The second part of this secret is recognizing that her sensations are highly sensitive to your energy. Her responses fluctuate depending on your confidence, presence, and emotional alignment. If you are tense, uncertain, or distracted, she feels it, and her pleasure diminishes. If you are present, grounded, and intentional, her body opens like a flower, responding to every movement with increasing intensity. Men often underestimate this, thinking that physical techniques alone dictate attraction. In reality, she is reacting to the rhythm you set, the energy you exude, and the unspoken assurance that you are capable of guiding her through her sensations without fear or hesitation. Then there's the hidden interplay between anticipation and release. Her sensations build gradually, often starting with tiny, almost imperceptible reactions that signal curiosity or desire. A flicker of her eyes, a soft exhale, a gentle shift in posture. These are early markers of engagement. Men who recognize and nurture these moments see her sensations amplify exponentially. She is not passive in this process. Her body gives feedback in real time. The moment you learn to read it, to respond without overthinking, is the moment you shift from being just another partner to someone who truly ignites her core desires. Finally, understand the psychological depth behind her physical responses. Her sensations are intertwined with vulnerability, trust, and subconscious desire. When she allows herself to feel fully, when she lets go of control, even for a moment, her body reveals truths she rarely voices. This is where mastery lies, being attuned enough to notice these signals, respond appropriately, and create a feedback loop that deepens intimacy, heightens pleasure, and builds a connection that feels almost inevitable. This first secret is deceptively simple. Listen to her body, feel her energy, and respect the rhythm of her sensations. Every shiver, every tremor, every pulse is a message, one that, if decoded properly, gives you unparalleled insight into her mind and heart. Once you understand this, you will never look at intimacy the same way again. The second secret is this: her sensations are triggered not just by what you do, but by how you make her feel, emotionally, mentally, and even subconsciously. Every touch, every word, every glance carries a hidden charge, an invisible signal that either excites her or dulls her response. Most men focus on technique, thinking that intimacy is a checklist of moves. But her body doesn't respond to checklists. It responds to perception. She feels your confidence, your calm, your awareness, and these intangible qualities ignite sensations far more than any physical act ever could. Notice how she reacts when you are fully present, when your attention is undivided. Her breathing deepens, her muscles relax, and her subtle shivers intensify. That is her subconscious signaling desire, comfort, and anticipation all at once. Men who fail to grasp this often misread her responses, assuming she is indifferent when, in truth, she is silently reacting to the energy you bring. Her sensations are a dialogue, a continuous conversation that requires you to feel her responses as much as you observe them. Ignore it, and you miss the opportunity to unlock her hidden depths. Another layer of this secret lies in understanding her psychological triggers. Certain gestures, touches, or even tones of voice can awaken sensations she didn't know were there. A soft, deliberate caress can spark more than excitement. It can evoke a flood of vulnerability, trust, and longing. A whisper close to her ear can send tingles through her body, not because of the words themselves, but because of the intimate energy you project. These triggers are deeply personal, tied to her subconscious, and they cannot be forced. They must be discovered through attunement, observation, and responsiveness. Men who try to perform rather than attune themselves fail to reach this level entirely. Then there is the interplay between anticipation and control. Her body craves tension and release, and her sensations are heightened when you navigate this rhythm intelligently. The slightest delay, the careful build-up of touch, the subtle shifts in timing, these are the invisible levers that amplify her responses. Men often overlook this because they are focused on immediate gratification, missing the fact that her most powerful sensations emerge from controlled, deliberate interaction. Every pause, every glance, every shift in pressure is a key to unlocking her mind and body simultaneously. Finally, understand that her sensations are also deeply linked to emotional security. She may experience pleasure, tingles, and desire, but if she doesn't feel emotionally safe, her body can shut down almost instantly. This is why the men who master her sensations are not just physically skilled, they are emotionally intelligent. They recognize her boundaries, respect her signals, and create an environment where her sensations can flow naturally. She will respond more vividly, more intensely, when she knows she is being understood, not just touched. This second secret teaches you that her sensations are a combination of perception, emotional resonance, subconscious triggers, and trust. Once you understand this, you begin to see her reactions not as random or superficial, but as precise messages encoded in movement, breath, and touch. You learn to decode them, respond to them, and ultimately guide her into experiences she craves but rarely voices. The third secret is deceptively simple. Her sensations are amplified when she feels desired, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. A woman's body responds to the certainty that you are fully engaged with her, that your attention is hers alone, that your energy signals confidence and intent. This is why small, subtle gestures, holding her gaze a fraction longer, a deliberate touch at just the right moment, a whisper that carries focus and intent, can ignite her sensations in ways that no overt display of skill ever will. Her mind processes these signals before her body reacts, and when both align, the effect is electric, almost uncontrollable. The fourth secret is that her sensations are amplified by unpredictability paired with safety. Women crave the tension between anticipation and security. A perfectly predictable rhythm can feel boring. A chaotic, uncontrolled encounter can feel unsafe. But when you balance novelty with emotional grounding, when you introduce subtle surprises while maintaining a stable presence, her sensations surge. A small, unexpected touch, a shift in tone, or a moment of playful dominance can send shivers down her spine, spike her heart rate, and make her body respond in ways she rarely admits aloud. This is where intuition becomes your greatest weapon, the ability to sense when to push, when to pull, when to tease, and when to soothe. The fifth and final secret is the most powerful of all. Her sensations are a reflection of her trust in you, combined with your ability to attune to her inner world. Women feel deeply, and their bodies respond to emotional resonance more than anything else. When you are aligned with her rhythms, when you anticipate the micro signals of her mind and body, when you respect her boundaries and guide her through pleasure intelligently, her sensations escalate naturally and intensely. She experiences a feedback loop where every touch, every sigh, every tremor encourages deeper engagement, creating an intimacy that is unforgettable, almost magnetic. Mastering these secrets does not come from manipulation or forcing reactions. It comes from awareness, presence, and alignment. The men who succeed are those who observe carefully, respond intelligently, and create an environment where her body and mind can communicate freely. You do not have to guess blindly. Her sensations are your map, her reactions are your guide, and your energy is the key that unlocks her hidden depths. When you learn to read her signals, anticipate her responses, and balance tension with emotional grounding, you enter a space where connection is effortless, intimate, and almost unavoidable. So here's the truth. Her sensations are never random. They are precise, informative, and deeply revealing. Every shiver, every pulse, every subtle reaction tells you something profound about what she is feeling and thinking. The men who understand this become architects of intimacy, navigating the complex interplay of mind, body, and emotion in ways most men only dream of. They transform moments of touch into experiences that linger, memories that shape desire, and connections that feel almost sacred. Now, here's something for you to think about. A personal question. If trust plus attention plus presence equals her peak sensation, then what are you contributing to the equation right now? I want you to write your answer in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to understand this.